very pleasant place to stop. In the north of England we've got so many places like this, ruins of castles, abbeys, churches, monasteries, and it always fascinates me, the history of the place, which leads me on to a tag, one of the many tags I've been tagged in, so apologies to the people I haven't done their tags yet, but I will try and do one today. I got tagged by my very good friend Max over from Hike Camp in the US of A, and I think the tag was, or what do you love about backpacking, or was it just the outdoors? I can't remember which. To me, one and the same. I've always enjoyed being outdoors, especially as I grew up in the 60s. Now I know a lot of people will be saying, grew up in the 60s? You're having a laugh, aren't you? You don't look a day over 40. Well, be that as it may, I did grow up in the 60s, and in the 60s there was no computers, no smartphones. But we were fortunate in the 60s. We were one of the very first people in our street that had a car, and every Sunday afternoon he used to shout me and my brother in, and he would take us out for an afternoon up on the moors, which was about half an hour's drive. But for us it was a massive adventure. Once we got there, we absolutely loved it. Just the complete freedom to do what you wanted. My mother and father would sit down on a blanket, me and my brother would be let off the leash to do what we wanted, run wild, run free. One thing it taught me as well when I grew up with and got into my teenage years, the benefits of having a car. Thursday night was the disco night, and it tended to be the night where all the women used to go to. We used to go there specifically just to meet up with them. Now if you walked over to a girl at the end of the night and said, can I walk you home? Sometimes you get a yes. When he had a car and he went up to somebody and said, can I drive you home? Just about every single time, without fail, you've got a yes. Can I come round, pick you up, and I'll drive you out in the countryside somewhere, or we'll have a drive down to the coast? Tell you something, happy days. So I've always enjoyed getting out into the countryside, and having a car allowed me to do that. There's nothing I like better than getting up first light, parking up 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, first car in the car park, not a soul about, and heading off into the hills. I can walk for miles and miles, hours at a time, and not see one person. I can go when I want, I can go where I want, I can stop as long as I want, I can do what I want. So, in one word, what do I like about the great outdoors? Freedom. One thing I've just remembered is I was supposed to tag 2 people, which I totally forgot about before. So I'm going to tag 2 people. I'm going to also give their channels a shout out, because both channels really deserve the shout out. They're both on round about 600 subscribers, both of them criminally under subscribed. Both of them are women as well, one from the USA and one from over here in the UK. I have a love-hate relationship with women on YouTube. But when I say a love-hate relationship, what I mean is there's some women in there that are really inspiring and real role models for girls in this country, the USA, in fact the world over. Unfortunately, they tend to be undersubscribed, and I really want to help these channels if I can. We've got some fantastic channels in the UK. I can think of Backpacks and Bruisers, I can think of Donovan Senior, I can think of over in the USA, I can think of the Mrs. KKB, I can think of Nicole Hikes a Lot, exactly the same, criminally undersubscribed. I've mentioned them 4 channels before, so the 2 channels I'm going to give a shout out today, and I'm going to tag today, but only if you want to do it. If you haven't got the time, no matter. Is over in the UK, it's Marie over at Funsized Earthling. She is everything right about wild camping and hiking. Put a link to one of her videos that absolutely blew me away. She went to the Highlands of Scotland, middle of winter, and she hiked by herself for 3 days, I think it was. Wild camped 2 nights, cooked her own food while she was out there. She went for a wild swim in one of the lochs there in the middle of a snowstorm. Now, if anybody's been to the Highlands of Scotland, you know that even in midsummer The locks there are absolutely ice cold. Yet she went in the middle of winter, in the middle of a snowstorm. Absolutely real hardcore. The channels I really don't like are the clickbait ones where you've got these women that go in supposedly in the wild and they're wearing next to nothing, these posed videos, posed photographs, and to be honest, the channel is just a load of rubbish. It's just them prancing about wearing as little as possible. Yet we've got these fantastic women going out into the wilds doing proper wild camping, proper hiking, and they're getting next to no subscriptions in comparison. So the first tag and the first shout out is, for me, is Marie. It's Funsized Earthling. The other one is Diane over at Recreation outside Las Vegas. Now the first time I come across a channel, I thought, Las Vegas, well, it's a place I've always wanted to visit, to be quite honest, but as regards hiking, I was going to bypass it. Having said that, I watch another channel over in America, Adventuring Outdoor with Eric, and he's based in Las Vegas. I've mentioned Eric's channel before, but he hikes literally half an hour outside Las Vegas, and he goes on some fantastic hikes in the desert. Now what Diane's doing is, she joined the Navy at 17, went all around the world. She's come back home there now, and what she's trying to do is, she's trying to put together her own company that is for people who visit Las Vegas, who, somebody like me and Mrs. Metalman, who would love to visit Vegas, but would also like to do a bit of hiking as well and see some of the sights. So she's putting together trips and show them the desert outside Vegas. Some really good videos, and one sticks in my mind in particular, where she was out in the desert overnight at a hot springs. First thing in the morning, just before the sunrise, she went into the hot springs, and then she just looked and watched the sunrise over the desert and over the mountain tops. What an absolutely magical moment. So second tag will be Diane, and the second shout out will be Diane's channel. I'll put a link to her channel down below. So sorry Max, it wasn't the best tag, and to be fair, I didn't mention backpacking hardly at all. But what I am going to do is, well, something I promised about 2 months ago. I did say that I've got a new tent that I bought at the end of last year. I haven't used it properly yet, so because we can't get out and do any proper wild camping, I would do a camp in the back garden. No sooner did I say that, and there was an explosion of people doing exactly the same. And at the end of the day, I mean, how can I compete with the likes of like your Chris over at the MCM Outdoor Show, or like Gaz over at Gazanu Outdoors? I mean, like Dave Outdoors. You know, I mean, you cannot compete with these fantastic channels. So I thought I'd let all that die down first. And because I've never really mentioned backpacking in this tag, I will do a camp in my own back garden. We haven't got the biggest of back gardens, but having said that, big enough to get a tent there. So that is a definite promise. Having said that, after me complaining about the lack of rain before, the forecast tomorrow is rain all day, and then the weekend is rain again. So hopefully sometime next week. So until then, thank you very much for watching. No matter what, I'll always stay metal.